We kind of got a troubling report on the U.S. economy just recently, raising new concerns about a recession. A recent poll showing more Americans believe that we already are, in fact, in that recession compared to 2 years ago when the pandemic sent the stock market crashing and layoffs surged. The White House, though, is pointing to one sign that we're not in a recession just yet.
Our job market remains historically strong.
U.S. unemployment is near record lows. If you're looking for a job or a job change, we have experts here to help. We have Will Graham from Graham Personnel Services, Chris Rivera, the director of Guilford Works. They're both with us today answering all your job and hiring related questions. Now, here's how you get your question to our experts. The number is 336-379-5775. You text in that question. The question is anonymous, but the answer is in real time. All right, so let's just kind of get a state of what's going on out there, and especially right here in Greensboro. So Chris, what's the snapshot of what things look like?
Yeah, good evening, Sandra. Yeah, I think you queued up that story really well. We're still experiencing a really strong economy here in Guilford County. Over the past 3-4 months, we've been teetering somewhere in about 3.7 to now 4.2% unemployment rate. There are lots of jobs that are available throughout our community. At last check, we're at about 43,000 available jobs here in the metro area. About 10,000 individuals that are on the unemployment rolls right now. So we're not exactly, in this position where we're fully headed towards a recession. Again, we're seeing lots of job postings throughout our community, lots of opportunities for individuals to get back into the workplace or transition into new careers if that's their desire.
Yeah, those numbers really tell such a different story. You have 43,000 jobs open, only 10,000 people on the unemployment benefits. That means there's a whole lot of jobs open. All right, so speaking of that, Will, in your personnel services, you're seeing some direct hire jobs. Tell me what that is and what kinds of jobs we're talking about.
Sure, you bet. So at Graham Personnel Services, we do a multitude of hiring in different ways. We do a lot of temp to direct hire, and then we do direct hire positions where we find the candidate, the job seeker for our customer, and place them directly with the customer. So we're still seeing that strong. I think as hiring remains strong, that'll still stay strong. I think we all kind of wonder, oh, well, what are the next 6 to 12 months look like? And no one knows as of right now.
All right, so we're looking at that graphic right now about, you've got the maintenance tech, the engineer, accounting, and you've got the salaries that are on there too.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of maintenance tech hirings. About 25 of those openings paying between 42 and 75,000. About 15 engineer openings, about 15 accounting and finance openings paying between $60 to $100,000. Human resource openings, a lot of plant manager, operations managers, IT openings as well. So it's still a good time to look to get into the job market or change jobs. I think it's going to remain strong for right now, but there's a little bit of angst starting to come into this situation.
Okay, there's angst coming into the situation. Let's talk about that. So, Chris, you were nodding your head as well. What's the angst?
Yeah, so as we continue to see prices of goods and transportation and things like that increase, there is a direct hit to an employer's bottom line. And so that has to be then passed on to customers. Consumer spending then may go down. So there's this recalibration that has to take place. And everybody's kind of wondering, when is this market, this very strong job market, going to just kind of have to press the brake or pause button? And so employers, I imagine, are having to give some considerations to that. Will talked about the direct hire postings that they have over with Graham Personnel. We've seen great wages coming out of the employer market, right? And so there is this concern, as that market slows down, are those wages going to redecline? Flashback to 2020, we were seeing these mid-level positions come in at 35, 40,000. Will is talking about positions in the 40, 50, $60,000 ranges now. So we strongly encourage individuals to get in while the market is hot and those job openings are there, and get in and stay in there.
So Will, what would you want to add to that about maybe the angst as well that you're seeing on your side too?
Yeah, so Chris is an expert at this stuff. I think what we're going to do is, if you're a job seeker, you're about to go from an A+ job seeker environment maybe to somewhere in a B+ to a B range. It's not going to happen overnight, but there are going to be, if the economy continues to slow down, hiring will slow down. But compared to where we've been over the last 18 months, it's been like a meteor rising. So it doesn't, just because it's cooling off doesn't mean it's doomsday, but there may not be hundreds of jobs to choose from. So as there's less competition, offering packages do minimize, and that they become slightly weaker. I mean, companies are bringing their best and significantly more, and you might see that starting to change in the future if GDP continues to decline for more consecutive quarters.
All right.
So
quickly, before we head to
right now is the time to get a job and stay in it.
Gotcha. Okay, before we head to break, let's put up the Guilford Works jobs that are open right now, what we're seeing, because it's like off the charts when it comes to one specific kind of job.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this table. So this chart here represents the available jobs that are posted in our state system, which is ncworks.gov. We have been talking about for months the impact of, labor shortage in the food service industry, and this here just tells so significantly. So, at last check, and again, this is as of close of business yesterday, there are more than 2,000 food services jobs available in our system. And it's not to say that there are not other positions out there, but this industry is just being slammed right now. And as we're out and about in markets and restaurants and things like that, we're seeing it as consumers. In addition, we're seeing sharp increases in the transportation and logistics field. Again, these are your truck drivers, material movers, warehouse workers, and things like that. So lots of opportunities in there as well. Again, this is just a sort by the highest amount down to the lowest amount of available jobs today. This is not fully inclusive. So this speaks to 5,000 of the 49,000 jobs that are reported to be available in our community.
Okay. All right. And we've got several texts coming in about people who haven't been in the job market for a little while, wondering how they transition in. We've got some resources for you. We got some thoughts for you. That's coming up in the next segment. We'll be right back.